All right, let's talk about something that a lot of us, well, we kind of dread: business planning. It sounds like a ton of work, right? But what if I told you it's not some dusty old document you write once and forget about? It's actually your roadmap. It's the thing that gives you clarity and confidence, a real path to success. So let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? Lying awake at night, just wondering what the next 6 months or, shoot, even the next year is going to look like for your business. Well, you are definitely not alone. That uncertainty, it's something every single entrepreneur feels. But what if you could take that worry and turn it into a clear sense of direction?
At the end of the day, that's all planning really is. It's just thinking ahead. It's about deciding where you want to go and then figuring out the steps to get there, instead of just, constantly putting out fires. It's all about taking back control.
Okay, but how do you plan for a future you can't predict? Well, the magic ingredient here is something called a forecast. This is where you make your best educated guess about what your sales, your costs, and your cash are going to look like. No, it's not a crystal ball, but it's the solid ground you need to build a real, effective plan.
So why even bother with all this? What's the actual payoff? Well, let's break down the 4 really powerful ways that having a solid plan can completely transform your business, and probably your peace of mind too.
Yep, just 4. But these 4 reasons hit on the biggest challenges pretty much every business runs into. So let's jump right into the first one.
This is the big one, right? Are you actually going to make any money? A plan forces you to put real numbers next to your brilliant ideas. You guess your sales, you list out every single cost you can think of, and then you see if there's anything left over. And trust me, it is so much better to find out on paper that something isn't working than to find out after a year of blood, sweat, and tears.
You know, the process of making a plan is kind of like giving your business a full physical. You have to look at everything super critically: your marketing, your suppliers, your prices, the whole shebang. And when you do that, you almost always find these little weak spots or huge opportunities you just hadn't seen before.
Now, if you ever think you might need a loan to grow your business, a plan is totally non-negotiable. It's how you show a lender that you're serious, that you've done your homework, and that you have a believable strategy to actually pay them back. It basically translates your vision into a language they understand: finance.
And this might be the most important point of all: cash. See, you can be profitable on paper and still go out of business. It happens all the time. Why? Because you run out of actual cash. A plan helps you see your cash flow, when the big bills are due, when you can expect money to come in, so you never get caught by a nasty surprise and suddenly can't pay your staff or your rent.
Okay, so you're on board, you're convinced. But what does a plan even look like? Well, for most of us, it boils down to 2 key documents. Think of this as your essential planning toolkit. So on one side, you've got your sales and costs plan. This is your big picture strategy. It's about making sure you'll be profitable over the next year. But on the other side, you have the cash flow plan. This is your week-to-week, month-to-month survival guide. It tracks the actual money coming in and going out. You absolutely 100% need both.
I know, this might sound like a lot, but building these plans doesn't have to be some crazy, complicated thing. Actually, keeping it simple is the whole point. So let's walk through a super simple 5-step guide you can use to get started, like today.
Okay, let's do this. Step 1, keep it simple. Seriously, a messy plan on the back of a napkin that you actually use is a million times better than some perfect 50-page document that just collects dust. Step 2, pick a time frame that makes sense. Maybe it's 3 months, maybe 6, maybe a whole year. Whatever feels right. Step 3, break it down by month. This is so important because it lets you check in and see how you're doing compared to your plan. Step 4, do it now. The best time to make a plan is before you're in a crisis, not when you're already in one. And finally, step 5, use real information. Don't just pull numbers out of thin air. Talk to people, do a little research, and make your forecast as realistic as you can.
So let's bring this all home. If there's just one idea you take away from all this about the true power of planning, it's this.
Think about that for a second. It's not just about chasing big, exciting goals. A plan is also a defensive tool. It gives you a heads up, letting you spot a potential disaster way off in the distance so you can calmly steer around it instead of crashing right into it. And just remember, planning is for everybody. It doesn't matter if your business is absolutely crushing it and you want to keep that momentum going, or if you're struggling with a problem and need to find a way out. A plan is the tool that gives you that clarity and that control.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. It doesn't have to be huge.
Maybe it's just your sales for next month, or what you'll spend on materials next quarter. What is the very first simple forecast you're going to make to start taking control of your future? Thanks for joining me.